assure you that my first lecture will be very brief. I am delighted to be here, and I'm particularly delighted to be here on this occasion. We meet at a college noted for knowledge, in a city noted for progress.
Why am I so fly?
Noted for strength.
How are you?
And we stand in need of all three.
Good morning.
For we meet in an hour of change and challenge, in a decade of hope and fear, in
Desert
an age
Eagle.
of both knowledge and ignorance. The greater our knowledge increases, the greater our ignorance unfolds.
And that was the most striking thing he said in the whole thing to me. This is 1961 John F. Kennedy. Good morning. And he literally talks about our intelligence. I mean, this is just TV. This was TV brand new. Radio was out for a while, but he had no clue that we were going to have the internet. None. Had no clue that we were going to have Periscope even. And in this speech he goes, the more we learn, the more our ignorance gets exposed. And I find that nobody wants to talk about their ignorance. They don't want to talk about what they don't know. They only want to talk about the little things that they know. And it's subsurface. You feel what I'm saying? It's not important. You know? Pet pictures are not important. Cloud porn's not important. What you had for food last night's not important. Megan, good morning. You know, I want to talk about subjects that matter. And I find that there's so many distractions. Good morning. You got 98. That's when I graduated high school. By the way, I'm following you. It baffles me that people want to just talk about small subjects. And then it's like, that's a small mind. I call it always a monkey mind situation where we have two ways of learning. And this is real psychology. I paid for my own degree. Two ways of learning. There's a quick way, 2 + 2. Both of you guys were like 4. No problem, Saint. 4. I got that answer. 16 times 3. Exactly. So our brains register a point where we actually have to do more work. So we got this switch. It's like a lock and a channel in our brain that goes, is that easy or hard? And when it becomes hard, we tend to bash away. Right? 2 + 2. What's up with it? You're like, 4. Sure, Mark Saint. No problem. I got your answer right here. I'm smart just like you. And you're like, you know what? 16 times 3 requires more work. And in that work, that extra effort to think, to shift our cells inside our brains, and to allocate protein to our brain, we tend to not. We tend to not use our brains. You know, we do these things because they are hard. This man right here got assassinated. He also decided for our country to go to the moon. We haven't been past the moon since. This is 1961. This is the 21st century. All of the world's knowledge is in our pockets. And yet we don't interact. We don't use it. We haven't evolved. And that bugs me. That's my morning marijuana motivation this morning. Is to talk about stuff that's not really cool. Sorry, I'm getting blown up here. How's everybody else doing this morning? You got hearts? Did I just blow the candle off the cake? Is that what happened? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Let the sun shine in. Sorry, I get intense. I get really intense because this is the stuff that I believe in. And I want everybody to be able to start thinking a little bit more outside the box. You know, it's like it's not enough to just talk about certain subjects, but the most important subjects are communication. The way we talk to each other and interact as human beings on a daily basis has to be one of the most paramount evolution techniques that we have on this planet. I mean, 21st century, and yet we're afraid to talk to each other. Like we've isolated ourselves, but we haven't exposed. And that's what's awesome about Periscope is it reaches out there and touches people. It's like you're no longer by yourself. And even though you're into this, right, we're still reaching out. So what if we go beyond the screen? Seriously, what if we actually talk to each other? And that's what I'm talking about. Not just, hey, dude, what's going on, man? I like that movie. That's not talking. That's just passing the time. That's called bullshitting where I come from. But sit down talks, like, how's our neighborhood doing? Gotta go. My kids are hungry, so I'm going to catch up. I'll watch another one for your scopes. That's what's up. I got you followed. No worries. Go feed your kids. Have a blessed day. And if no one told you today, I love you. I told you. So look, part of the morning marijuana motivation is to get, yeah, of course, all love, all love. Thank you for stopping in my show. I do the morning marijuana motivation every morning, and you can find me at saintsaddiction.com. Anyway, me and Desert Eagle, I've seen you. Man, first of all, amazing beard, my bearded brother. I got to tell you that right off the bat. I appreciate the support you're giving me. You know, it's hard to be a trailblazer. No, seriously, bro. I can tell that you're seeing me. I can tell that you're getting the idea of what my message is. And I alone cannot be the only one telling the message. So I ask you and other people to watch to be the change wherever you're from. And I don't have a clue. Where are you from? Bro, I have a lot to say. I'm a teacher. Just like Buddha, just like Jesus, I'm actually a teacher. Like by trade. It's something that I would do for free. Each one of us has an inherent gift that we should give to the world for free. I'm not a scuba diver. Okay? I can't give that to the world. I'm not Michael Jordan. I can't dunk. I'm 5'7". But I can teach. And I can understand difficult concepts and make them sound easier to understand. That's my technique. That's my special skill on this planet, is teaching. And I love to do it. It is like my honor to teach people. And it is also an honor to be able to touch someone's brain and give them information they didn't have before. We were talking last night, me and my homie. He's like, you know, that's just passive information. You know what I'm saying? Most of us are looking at this passively. That is not learning. And he had to break that down to me. And I'm glad we had this conversation deep with some smart motherfuckers last night while I was growing the weed. That's not learning. Learning is an actual activity, kind of like push-ups. You actually have to put some effort into it. Take notes. It's a structured thing. It's not a passive thing. You can't just passively absorb information. We have passively sat in front of the TV and movies and haven't learned anything, right? You could go sit in a movie for 3 hours and be the same motherfucker coming back out. That's not learning. Learning actually takes effort. And it's a process, and what he was saying. And our active process is me trying to reinvent. Thanks, bro, for inviting people. My personal goal is to try to reinvent the school system, right? What we're learning in the school system is not enough. It's antiquated. It's old. And in the 21st century, we don't have more time. We don't have another 100 years of the 21st century for everyone to catch up. So my idea, my life's mission, is to leapfrog the education system. Now, mind you, all the world's information's in here. Anything that anybody wants to know can get onto this little gadget and figure it out. But learning, shaping the future. I'm 35 years old, now 36, but 35, in another 35 years, it'll be the year 2050. And we will have topped out at 9-10 billion people on this planet. We don't have another 50 years for you to get your golden watch. We don't have another 50 years for kids to just passively go by and take another job and become another cog in the wheel. Where are we going? Seriously, besides for constantly paying our bills and just kind of our feet under the water like a duck, where are we going? It took a man like John F. Kennedy to take us to the moon. We need to go to the stars. I mean, seriously, Mars and beyond. I was looking out them under the stars the other day, and I'm just like, Jupiter was right on top of the moon, and it's just like a fucking slingshot away. If we can see it, we should be able to touch it. And we're far away from that. We're too far away from that goal. And that kind of bugs me. So it's like, why aren't we touching those rockets? I have a vision. He's a little black kid with chubby cheeks, and he's wearing glasses. He's 12 years old, and he's on a field trip because of the Saints Foundation. And on that motherfucking day, this little 12-year-old boy, I can see him, 12, touches a rocket, and he's looking up at it, and it says, NASA. And on that motherfucking day, he gets ignition. Not only does it plant a seed in his head to go to college, but to save our humanity. Because we can't save the planet. The planet will live on beyond us. I keep telling to save our humanity. What we have left, all this education, all this hope, all this ingenuity, and yet we keep our feet killing ourselves underneath. You know, every time we push on the gas, we're pushing on our own throats to not breathe in the future, or our children to breathe in the future. That bugs me. It's something that has to be said now. We can no longer continue on our path. This growth rate cannot sustain itself, and the planet will not sustain us either. So we have to make adjustments, human habit-changing adjustments. And that's a lot of marketing, and that's a lot of psychology, but that just so happens to be what I do for a living and what I do best. So I'm going to try to market it to people. I'm going to try to make it sound more appealing. How our change is for a group effort, for a new world that we live in the 21st century, and that we shaped our humanity. We didn't just watch on the side and let humanity drop on our watch. We cannot do that. And I refuse to do that. Not on my watch. You feel what I'm saying? Not on my watch. Not while I might have children. Not like we still have a chance on this earth. We must do something together as a human race, evolving, not wasting our time with racism, TV, bullshit, fucking pests. We must, bro. What is that? Pet porn and fucking cloud porn and all that other shit that don't make the planet move forward, bro. You know, I love watching Michael Jordan too, but he doesn't have any inherent value. It does not save the planet by him dunking. It might excite my brain for a little bit, but it ain't me. And I'm glad Michael Jordan can make billions of dollars. I get it. But why hasn't he given it back? Why hasn't he gone back into the hood? And Kanye West and everybody else that makes it out. Why is it the first one that breaks out, the free one, is the first one to enslave his other friends, his peers? You know what I mean? And I was watching that from the great dictator speech when he said that dictators free themselves but enslave their people. And I was like, wow, that is so true. It's like Muammar Gandhi all over again. Muammar Gandhi had billions of dollars, but his people in Liberia suffered hugely. They starved, and they tore his body apart in the streets. I mean, no one goes poor from giving, right? I like that. Yeah. You know, I keep telling people, it's like a candle. Right? And the candle keeps going, and it lights other candles. And that's what we got to be. We got to be the ignition. I call it igniting. You know, that one little boy is going to touch that rocket, and he's going to get ignited. And he's going to be flooded with ideas day and night like me, where I can't stop but focus on one thing. I want to find the child that saves humanity. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm not smart enough. I know I'm smart, but I know I'm not smart enough. And I know I'm going to need a lot of smart little fuckers. So if I have to create Professor Xavier's school for the X-Men and X-Women and these special kids with their special powers to take this school to another level so we can figure out solar and mathematics and lead the future to sustainable living and dwellings that require hempcrete and dwellings that require farming and shit like that. This stuff has to bring to fruition. We need those little fuckers to figure out hemp plastic. This is important. That's why I focus on it. So I'm giving my all to it. I'm creating the Saints Foundation. Everything I build, shirts by Saints, prints by Saints, designs by Saints, Saints brand, Saints addiction, 98% will go to this Saints Foundation. So help me God. So help me God. Help me. Help me. I'm just a man. I'm a man lucky enough to go around this big, beautiful world, and in that, I learned some things. And I am not going to keep that knowledge to myself. I'm going to shout it from the top of my lungs. I'm going to let everyone know what I know, so that way we can leapfrog ahead. Yeah, it wasn't just enough to be able to go around the world. You got to share it. You can't keep this shit to myself no longer. And every day I get up and I try to get after it and tell people what's the real. And you're the only one listening. But it only takes one, bro. It only takes one seed at a time. I mean it. You can see my eyes tearing up. I mean it. I mean it with all my soul. I'm like, I couldn't shut up the other night. I'm staring at the stars, and I could not stop about talking about the world, and it hit me. This is my purpose. I earned my sainthood. I earned my halo. I got baptized in that moment. We all have a passion, right? And this is my passion. And it ain't gonna stop. Not till I figure out how to fix it. Mark Saint, it's the Morning Marijuana Motivation. I love you. And if no one else told you today, I did. Peace.